So another good one. We got an E85 Bobcat. See anything wrong with that?
Yeah, the track is falling off, and that is due to a track tensioner that is blown. The track tensioner uses grease to push a piston to push the front idler out and keep the track tight. And what happens when the seals and the tensioner blow, your grease just won't stay in there and your track won't stay tight. So the E85, sometimes they have rubber tracks, and this one is actually equipped with a steel belt. And first thing we got to do is find the master link, which I've already found right here. And this is about where I like to break the track, kind of like right on top of the front idler. And that way we can just roll the track out of the way and slide the idler out, and then we'll slide the tensioner out and get this thing resealed.
So this isn't just a repair for the Bobcat E85. All these grease tensioners kind of work the same. So whether it's a skid steer or an excavator or whatever the case may be, you know, maybe this video will help you reseal a tensioner if you've got one going bad, or at least how to inspect one. So let's get this track tore off and get this thing fixed. Now on this machine, this is the pin that holds the track together, and this one is pretty worn out. So unfortunately, during the diagnosis process from someone else, that was not mentioned. So I do not have a pin, but we can still get this machine up and going until we get a pin in. Our spacers for our master link are also wore completely out. Right there, we can confirm that those seals are blown out. See all the grease out everywhere. Now I'll see if we can get that tensioner worked out of there. Here's our tensioner piston. That's all there is to it, just one big rod here. And you can see where the seals have blown out, so let's get this over to the truck and get it rebuilt. So I've got my tension cylinder all cleaned up, and what I'm going to do now is remove the, this is kind of our field bleeder fitting here where we actually pump grease into the cylinder to tension the track. And I'm going to attempt to use compressed air to push this cylinder out, which can be dangerous because when we pump air into this cylinder, you know, air is compressible. We're basically creating kind of a missile, you know, we're building a big spring behind this thing. If it doesn't slide out real easy, I'll put the fitting back in and we'll just push it out with grease. But it'll take me about 2 tubes of grease to push this out. So that's why I kind of want to use a little bit of compressed air and see if we can get it to come out, you know, without using grease. Just know that it's potentially dangerous. And it didn't budge. Did not budge. So we'll put our fitting back in, and we're going to have to use grease to push it out. How about the views though? Isn't that just awful? That's why I can't be a shop guy. You can see how slow the piston's moving out. It's going to take a couple minutes to get out. So now I've pumped a full tube of grease in there, and I got it the majority of the way out. So now I'm going to try to do a little compressed air this time and see if it'll move. Okay, so it does move, but again, we got to be careful. See, I got a rag over it because grease is about to blow out everywhere. So just a little bit of a time. And there it comes. And like I said, I hate to use compressed air, but it's a big cylinder. It takes a lot of grease. So now we'll get some of this grease cleaned out of there, and we're going to get these seals replaced. So here's our Bobcat seal kit. I'd just rather stick with Bobcat original parts, you know, that way you don't have any issues. So what I like to do is just open up the seal kit, see what I'm dealing with here. We got an outer wiper seal, we've got the inner seals, we've got a backup ring and an O-ring for the inside. So that way we know when we're tearing it apart what we got. See if we can go ahead and rip out this old wiper seal. Gland seal. Oh. Here's our O-ring. That is the failure point right there. And then we've got a little backup ring that goes in there. Another rag. And then we'll just slide the new seals in just like we did. So you know, your backup ring, your O-ring always goes toward the pressure side, so your backup ring goes in behind it. So if you ever take one apart and you get confused, well, which way did my backup ring O-ring? O-ring is always facing the pressure. So we'll start with that one. Your gland seal, just kind of overlap it, pops right in, and then our wiper seal. A little grease from the inside to grease it up. And then we'll slide our piston in, and once I get the piston in, I want to compress this all the way, and the reason is I want to push out all that grease and get as much air out of the back side of this as I can before we put our fitting in and get it back up in the tractor. Release the shmoo. Oh, oh yeah. Oh man. Well, I think that's all the shmoo I'm gonna get out of it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put a new tensioner fitting in it, because this one's got a bad O-ring, and it's not a bad idea to get one of these if you're gonna replace or rebuild a cylinder, because you never know. A lot of times they're over tightened. When you over tighten these fittings, you damage them, and then it's gonna leak out past the threads anyways. Well, now the tensioner's in, so now we got to slide in the front idler assembly and get it mated up to the tensioner. And now the fun part, now we got the machine put back together, we got the master link put in, now we just get to tighten it up. Alright, that is pumped up. That's close to spec. We're going to roll the track a couple times with the machine and just double check everything. But that's all there is to it. About a 2-hour job to reseal that tensioner. And any questions, let me know. It's not the only way to do it. That's just how I did it. Thanks for watching.